now it looks like there's a new era for Ion, from switching over from this meme coin that was airdropped to people, then with the clawback on December 15th, 16,500 something ions, which is more than 80% of the supply, were clawed back into the osmosis community pool. And there's now only, what, 6,000 circulating, 6,000 ions. So the question is now, what do you do with all these funds, and what is the use case for Ion? And I think today we will figure this out, and maybe see where is the direction going for Ion from here on, right? So let's start with the Ionize proposal, which envisions, basically my perception, that Ion becomes to Terra what Synthetix is to Maker, right? You guys also state that in the document. I think, Sunny, you wrote it, actually. So can you maybe, like, on a big picture, easily explain what that means? Like, also, like, just the context on synthetic assets. I think for many people, that's a complete new field in crypto, right, that people don't know. So maybe just briefly explain the idea and the goal behind this proposal before we go deeper into certain items.
Yeah, sure. So, one thing I just want to start off with is, just remind everyone that the Ionize proposal it's just that, exactly that. It's a proposal, right? Like, it's still really up to the Ion community to choose what they want to do. I think some people are interested in the Ionize proposal, and there's a lot of people who are also not interested in it. And so, the DAO would have to decide if they want to do it, and we can talk about how the DAO will decide, because that's something Jake's team is working on right now. But okay, but let's go just dive into the Ionize proposal. So yeah, what are synthetics? Synthetics are basically saying that, hey, it's a virtual representation of an asset that exists somewhere, that doesn't exist on chain, or it can exist on chain as well, but it's a virtualized representation of an asset that tracks the price of some external asset. So or some external index. But so yeah. So what can this be used for? Like, imagine you had a synthetic Bitcoin. What would that mean? That means you have a asset that's not backed by Bitcoin, but the asset's value is tracking Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up, the value of this asset goes up. If Bitcoin goes down, the value of it goes down. And the key is it's not collateralized by Bitcoin itself. It could be collateralized by something else, or it could be not collateralized at all. There's different types of synthetic assets, but that's the key thing here. So you'll notice that there is actually a type of, okay. So the biggest synthetic platform today is called Synthetix, with an X at the end. And Synthetix, it basically okay, let me go back for a second. These synthetic assets, you'll notice that there is actually a very popular type of synthetic asset that's used throughout the crypto ecosystem, and that is stablecoins. Stablecoins are a very specific type of synthetic asset, right? They're a USD synthetic, right? So if you look at something like DAI, right? DAI it's tracking the price of $1, of $1 US. But it's not actually backed by US dollars, right? Like, USDC would not be considered a synthetic, because yes, it's tracking the price of $1, but it's also backed by US dollars in a bank account somewhere, right? So it's not a synthetic, but DAI is a synthetic. And basically this Synthetix protocol with the X, I'm going to start using the word synth instead of synthetic, just because synthetic and synthetics, it's hard to know hear the difference. But yeah, so the Synthetix protocol, what they realized was how Maker does their stablecoin is they came up with this concept called CDPs, where you put in ETH as collateral, over collateralized with, and then you can pull out, let's say it's 150% over collateralized, you can pull out that much a DAI out of it, And if you want to get your ETH back, you have to like give back the ETH, the DAI, and you can withdraw your ETH. And they have like this whole liquidation system where if the value of the ETH goes below some amount, then you get liquidated. And like this entire CDP concept that made it possible to mint synthetic USD via over collateralizing by ETH. The synthetics protocol, what they came along and said was like, wait, that's so cool. Why do we only have to mint synthetic dollars with that? So why can't we mint synthetic any asset, right? So what they did was, they did something interesting where they said instead of collateralizing with ETH, they made it so you collateralize with their own native token called SNX. And I was actually a little bit skeptical of the project because of that, but it turns out I'm wrong about things. Clearly they've been very successful. But yeah, so you collateralize with SNX, and then you can go mint synthetic dollars. So they have a synthetic dollar called SUSD, but you can also go mint synthetic Bitcoin. They have SBTC. You can go mint synthetic. I think they have gold. I think as well. So you can go mint SBT. Gold or whatever. Like, you can mint all these different synthetic assets, but they all use the same CDP model that was invented by MakerDAO. Now, what's interesting that what's happened in the last 1 year, 1.5 years, is we've just seen an explosion in the number of stablecoin designs, right? So, back in 2019, when like Maker and synthetics were being built, like CDPs were the way to build stable coins or synthetic assets. But in stable coins in 2020 and 2021, we saw the rise of vays and ESD and Terra. And so in this like history, and so what's happened is we've learned all these different ways of creating stable coins. Some of them are more successful than others. And I think what Terra did, has clearly been this like runaway success, right? Like it is the largest. I think it's the biggest decentralized stablecoin right now in supply and everything, bigger than DAI at this point. And what they invented was this new model called the mint and burn model, where instead of using CDPs, they do this system where you can, I think we can go into the exact mechanisms in a little bit, but the basic is they have this thing where like, you can burn Luna in order to mint USD, and you can burn UST in order to mint more Luna. And so it's in a way kind of backed by Luna, but not really. And so we can talk about that. But what that did was it helped to break out of this like capital efficiency issue that CDPs have. Because with CDPs, you're capped in the amount of stablecoin or synthetic that can be minted based off of the amount of collateral that people can put up. But because Terra's mint and burn model is a little bit it's not collateralized, it's more of an uncollateralized system, it allowed the number of stablecoins to become much larger. And so our observation was just that, hey, if any stablecoin design can be generalized in order to make a generalized synth design. So if synthetics generalize the Maker CDP model, someone should go and generalize the Terra mint and burn model. And that's sort of where the original idea behind this ionized proposal, which was just this, it's not really anything special to ions itself. It's just this idea that like someone should go figure out how to generalize the Terra model, and maybe you can build a in the same way that the Terra has like outperformed like Maker. You can maybe have a synth protocol that like achieves just way bigger usage than synthetics ever did.